In January 1801, Lady Emma Hamilton gave birth to Nelson's daughter, Horatia. Still married to Sir William Hamilton, Emma had met Nelson in Naples in 1793 and had subsequently formed one of the greatest historical romances of all time. Horatia, although very clearly the offspring of the two, was declared to be the daughter of Vice Admiral Charles Thompson and swiftly placed with a wet nurse, Mrs. Gibson. Lady Hamilton and Admiral Lord Nelson became the alleged godparents of the child and named her Horatia Nelson Thompson. Sir William died 2 years later, in 1803, and in the summer of that year, Emma found herself pregnant again with Nelson's second child. From his flagship, Victory, the national hero pondered on the name of the child, writing, "Kiss Horatia for me, and the other. I approve of the name you intended. And then, call him what you please, but if a girl, Emma." Somewhere between Christmas and New Year of 1804, Emma Hamilton gave birth to a girl. No records of the child's birth or baptism have ever been uncovered, and the only evidence to support that she ever existed is the reply from Nelson to Emma Hamilton on finding out that his daughter had died. Still at sea and frantically going through a large bundle of recently delivered letters, he wrote, "At last I found a letter without a date which, thank God, told my poor heart that you were recovering, but that little Emma was no more, and that Horatia had been very ill. It altogether upset me. But it was just before bedtime, and I had time to reflect and be thankful to God for sparing you and our dear Horatia. I am sure the loss of one, much more both, would have driven me mad. I was so agitated that I was glad it was night, and that I could be by myself." Biographers of Emma Hamilton have long pondered over exactly what happened to little Emma, speculations ranging from her being buried secretly to her being disposed of or discarded, as so many deceased children were in the early 19th century. Historians also contemplate when and how the baby died, some suggesting that she was stillborn, and others proposing that she died of the same illness that gripped Lady Hamilton and Horatia. Due to the fact that Emma's letter to Nelson has no date, and its contents are only reiterated in Nelson's letter, as he burned all of the correspondence from his mistress, we cannot be clear on the cause of death, or of the manner in which the baby was buried. It is clear that Lady Hamilton herself had been unwell, and had often taken to her bed in the lead-up to the birth, although it could be that Emma had used the excuse of sickness to cover up the act of giving birth. She wrote in a letter to a friend on the 5th of January, 1804, "I have been very ill these last 8 days abed, with a sore throat, cough, cold, but I am better now." Other theories regarding the death of the baby claim that she caught smallpox, the virus that Horatia was allegedly suffering from at the time, and that, although her sister survived the illness, the baby was too small and too weak to do so. Molly Hardwick, Emma Hamilton's biographer, conducted a painstaking and extensive research of all the parish records of the churches that a baptism and burial might have taken place, but no records were found. Hardwick searched for a variety of different names and pseudonyms, but drew a blank. Most biographers believe that Lady Hamilton would have given the child a Christian burial and would never let Nelson's daughter go unblessed, yet there is no evidence to support this. Thus, in April 1804, Nelson's second, little-known daughter disappeared from history forever and lies somewhere in an unmarked, long-forgotten grave. Her sister, Horatia, lived a long and full life, dying in the reign of Queen Victoria in 1881 at the age of 80.